Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to The Nation. We're going to talk about this buzz that's all around the world right now. We're going to talk about the Sean Payton. To me personally, I don't know whether or not the Cowboys are going to actually roll with this particular rumor, this particular news feed out there, but let's talk about it. Let's talk about this thing. Appreciate my guy that's on the Discord to drop the information down there below. Jay Texas. Thank you for putting this information out there to the masses. This is the thing, Cowboy Nation. When we talk about the coaching parameters, we already know the bigger picture of everything. It's getting to the playoff, and then just not getting to the playoff. It's moving a little bit further down once you get there, right? Can anybody agree with me? Once you a little bit more than just getting there and parlaying, right? It's a little bit about, hey, when you get there, making people pay once you get there. Meaning that once you get there, at least make some splashes, win some games, as they say. So Cowboys, we've been into this mix for many of years, right? We've been into this stale phrase, meaning that since 1995, it's approaching a score in a half of a decade now. So we're going to have to figure out ways to, I guess, change up some philosophies. But I can say this, and I can truly say this. The offseason is always a wonderful time for us because now we can see this guy named Will McClay do some work, right? We can see the wonderful scouting presentation that we all look for, and we all have this one expectation right here, that everyone, regardless of the situation, is 0-0. No one is winning at this point. Now, several years we've been folding back. We've been sitting back with our arms crossed like this, and we've been saying to ourselves, no need to make moves at free agency, because one can argue this right here, that we just didn't have the cachet. We just didn't have the remuneration. We didn't have the money per se. We didn't have the resources. But now we should have some money that's available to everyone, right? We got that. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. But this is the thing. Shout out to you all, man. Thank you all for tuning in, especially those who are on the Periscopes and Law Nations. We're on both nations right now, Law Nation 2.0 and the Law Nation. So this is the thing. All we got to do now is figure out what the world is all of this news is about. Everybody wants Sean Payton. I want to know, because you guys know more than me. Do you guys really want Sean Payton in this particular team? Do you guys would say, just like we said with the when we got rid of Scott Linehan, just bring us anybody, anybody. And he brought in Kellen Moore. And that was a real bad backlash for a lot of people, man. A lot of people like, come on. We doing the exact same thing over and over and over again. Expecting different results, and I think that's the definition of some word, right? As they call it, insanity. All right, so in this article, they were saying that buzz build the buzz builder for Sean Payton, he would eventually coach for the Cowboys in due time. And when you click over to this article, they go into details of the controversial loss or what have you, clock management and things like that we can really say that Sean Payton, the reason why they didn't go to the Super Bowl is because of Sean Payton. But I do know that the New Orleans Saints, they're crying and they're trying to bring up everything out there. They even have a march, a million-man march almost out there, talking about they was wrongfully, they didn't call the game right, the NFL. But they glossed over what the clock management were during the latter parts of that game. But they was talking about in this article, they said the theory goes like this. The Cowboys part ways with Garrett after the contract expires. And this is just theory. This is not me just pulling out actual facts, right? These are just people trying to craft up things. And the Cowboys lure in Sean Payton from the New Orleans and Dallas 2020. and then it says it may be easier said than done. Cowboys would like to need to compensate Sean Payton, allowing Payton to leave, and compensate would likely be like one of the draft picks or something like that. Would you guys be willing to give up a draft pick to get a Sean Payton? Or can we find somebody? Can we find somebody that we can say to ourselves, just maybe, a new wrinkle from the outside looking in. Let me see what we have over here. Appreciate you. Joseph, he said, Law, we signed Zack Martin last year. Free agent move, one of the best in his positionings. Yes, you can say that. But was Zack Martin really going to leave? Could have you used a franchise tag for that? We got to look at it from this aspect. I'm all in favor of signing our own guys because that shows reflections and that shows also the ability to draft well, right? But was Zack Martin really going to leave? And on top of that, from my understanding, if a player leave, don't you get a high compensation for that? And I'm not saying to go ship off Zack Martin. I'm not saying that. No, you must protect your trenches. I'm all about protecting and building from the inside out. So my only thing is with the Cowboys is that we hold on to certain players or some players just too long. We hold on some players just too long, and we don't get anything in return as it relates to trade value. You see, so that's my only cause to pause with us as it relates to like total body of work. There. Put it like this. I'm gonna say this right here. There are still things that we need to improve on. Just because we are doing some things good in this department, we are lacking in other departments. Meaning that I think that we don't wheel and deal enough. We hold on to the Orlando Scandricks too long. We hold on to the churches too long. I think it's Barry Church. We held on to him too long, and we didn't get nothing in return from him. Anthony Hitchens, we develop guys, and we don't get nothing from those guys. The Ron Learys of the world. We need to figure out a way to craft some things to be able to ship guys off for some valuable things in return. And that's just my only opinion. Shout out to you, Roy, man. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. So a lot of people are in the mix of Sean Payton. Some people are saying that would never happen completely. Some people are saying that, hey, we are good with our coaching. If you look at the total body of work of Jason Garrett, collectively, you can say to yourself, Jason Garrett winning percentage is better than there is of a Sean Payton. Yeah, so we're going to have to figure out ways to stop using these things. If his winning percentage is better, then we need to figure out ways to get some better winning percentage as it relates to the playoff time. Because we already know the story. We already read the book of what the Jason Garrett will bring. We saw that. We read the chapters over and over again. We can rememberize it. We memorize it, I meant to say. We know it like the back of our hand. So at this point and at this time, Cowboy Nation, and for those who are out there listening from all over the four corners of the world, we going to have to reevaluate everything. Yes, indeed. And so that we can have a quarterback and so that we can have a franchise that's available and able enough to do things like this, kiss his owner in the mouth for crying out loud, because he know for sure that he's well kept down there or up there in Boston. That's crazy, right? Boy, oh boy. But guys, let me know of your thoughts. Let me know of your opinions. Post them down below of whether you feel whether or not this is ever going to happen or you would prefer to keep Jason Garrett. That's all the time that I have for this beautiful morning. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. Hey, it's one of those things. Yes, I'm going to say Marcus, he says, hey, promoting an unproven assistant coach as a non-Super Bowl winning coaching staff. That's the philosophy that people that make more money than us think. One can argue Wade Phillips was unproven, Jason Garrett was unproven, Scott Linehan was unproven. Can I go on and on and on? And this is not me hating on the Cowboys staff, because they did a wonderful job in the last 3 or 4 years. Collectively, they did, but Let's be real. A spade is a spade. But sometimes people would rather to have the comfortable lies instead of the hardcore truth. People love lies. Oh, boy, people love lies. They love them. They get so accustomed to it that this nation collectively in the United States, everybody is so sensitive, hypersensitive. You can't really talk about nothing these days. The commercials and everything like that didn't know what to do. These Super Bowl commercials was horrible because they had to toe the line because of the uncomfortable feeling of you may hurt somebody's feelings. Y'all remember that story, baby boy? That boy said, girl, I lie to you because I care about your feelings. That's what people want. They want them lies. They want everybody to tell the lies. They want me to say, hey, Lord, don't worry about it. That water down your back,